Nice, everything's working. Oh yeah, we're running 280, 290 megabits per second. What is going on, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. Asian market session open. We got a lot going on tonight. A couple really good charts that I was looking at. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I know I did. Took a little time for myself today. Worked with some clients, but been looking at the charts. Jan, what's going on, man? How are you? Nene, how's it going, man? What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys joining. Again, hope everybody had a good weekend. We've got some really nice looking setups for tonight. I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted earlier, but Euro JPY right now is on my list as a sell, as my favorite chart so far. I went over why, but we can go over why now together as well. Market open, no crazy gap downs or great gap ups. David, what's going on? How are you? David S, what's going on, man? I think we were talking on Facebook earlier. What's up, brother? How are you? So, I went over this trade earlier and posted a TikTok or reel about it. this is essentially what I'm looking at here. This is my number one chart. So we have our very strong support down here, and we have our very strong resistance up here. What we want to note is that we did have an uptrend as well. So we had our uptrend, and right here we had our break of structure. BOS right there is our break of structure. So now that we have all that dialed in, we know that we had a massive bearish candle right here. Huge red candle. And then we came up and retested this fair value gap right here. So we gave ourselves the chance to see if this was indeed going to reverse or if this was going to continue down. We got the rejection right there. Now this is the 4-hour chart. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at what happens here on the 1-hour open. But the 1-hour chart is looking very similar. Sydney, what's going on, man? How are you? Good to see you. The lows we're looking to break are right there. But we've already had the break and retest. So the break and retest is there, and this should be the trend. You may see some rejection here, and then some here, and then it go down. We always see pullback. As we know, the markets don't move just straight up and just straight down, as you guys know. It never does this. It more does this. So, as we know, markets don't go straight up and down. What we're going to do is figure out what this thing's going to do tonight. But out of all the charts that I looked at today, this is my favorite chart, including leading into market open, which was, 58 minutes ago, technically, when the market opened. We obviously have the volume already. So this is something that we're looking at strongly. If we go down to the lower time frames, same thing, guys. You had sell signals here. Came up and retested the EMA right here. We created a fair value gap on the way down. This should move toward the downside. Now, if we want to look at some other charts here, we've got USD JPY. So, going back to the dollar from last week, the dollar reached all-time highs. Now, with that being said, do we think it's going to continue and break through to this upper high up here? I don't like to be the tester. I don't want to test that. When I say that, I mean I want confirmation. I want it to break this, retest this, and then confirm to me that we are indeed going to go to this upside. I don't want to be the guinea pig testing to see if it's going to the upside. We want to let other people do that. We want to let price action and market structure dictate whether that is indeed going to go to this high that we haven't seen since 2024. I believe it was July. We can take a look at that together, though. Going to the intraday chart, the last time we were up here was, July of 24. July 10th and July 5th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of 2024. So we are in territories we haven't been in a very, very long time. With that being said, again, I don't like to bank on it moving up through this zone until we see some sort of break and retest. That is just my strategy. I don't like being... I like to be more sure than less sure, if that makes sense. So, moving on here, we have GBP USD. GBP USD has been in a downtrend for weeks now. This is going back to... We're going back 48 days now of downtrend. We do have a channel worked out here where you can see that the downtrend has respected these values that we've drawn. This trend line here and this trend line here. It's essentially stayed within those boundaries. Price action also shows here that we are continuing down with the sell signal on the day and the sell signal on the 4-hour. We have very strong bearish sentiment here. Market opened bearish as well. It looks like we may come up and retest this zone before moving to the downside. So again, we don't want to get in this right now when it's this far from this EMA ribbon. We want to continue and wait to see if it comes up and rejects this fair value gap and this EMA ribbon. Then we could look to get in sells. Or conversely, if we extend this out, thank you, Nene. If we extend this out, we could wait to see it come down and hit this zone down here, near this 1.31726 area, and then reject and buy back up this way. However, I don't like buying against a trend. So if it's in a downtrend, as we know, it's in a massive downtrend, I don't necessarily want to buy up on a downtrend, especially a 48-day long downtrend. Not something I necessarily want to associate myself with, put money into, things like that. GBP CAD also looking very bearish. Again, would need to see more information. You've got a lot of fair value gap mess right here that I don't really want to mess with until we're under it. Your next zone is not really in the foreseeable area. We'd have to go to the intraday probably, or we'd end up finding out is that there's another zone down here somewhere. So we could draw it out just so we know for the rest of the week if it does break that area. But you've got a zone down here, and then you've got a massive one down here. So those are your next zones. Again, I like to be very thorough with drawing my zones. I typically do them on the 4 hour, sometimes the day, but mostly the 4 hour. So for this one, to our next zone, you're looking at a possible 136 pips if this continues to drive down to almost 200, 185 pips. Definitely some room to grow there and some downward movement. We want to make sure that we're not getting a reversal back up this way, though. Considering this is our low on the 4 hour time frame right here. If this were to be the next low, that could constitute a swing back up this way. So we don't want to get caught in that. We still need some more information on that chart. Last chart we're going to look at is GJ. Again, GJ consolidating below the zone here. Very good sign. That's the 4 hour. We can take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour has been consolidating below the zone. We had a fair value gap formed here as well. EMA ribbon, candle closure below the EMA ribbon, which created this sell signal right here. We could see this moving toward the downside as well. If we were to see this fulfill the entire zone, you're looking at over 200 pips. Miguel, what's going on, man? How are you? What's going on, guys? So those are the only charts I'm looking at tonight. USD JPY, Euro JPY, GBP USD, GBP CAD, and GBP JPY. The only reason we're looking at those five is because those five have the most volume, those five have the best price structure, those five have the best market structure. So again, going back to this, Euro JPY was my favorite chart going into the day. I think what we're going to want to do is make that a dotted line, a dashed line, and make it yellow. That's the zone that we want to see it break through. So we don't know that this is going to keep dropping until we get a breakthrough here. And it may be a couple hours before that happens. It may happen sooner than later. If we drop down to the 15-minute, we did get the rejection right here that we were talking about. I'd like to see us break the lows here, and then we could line up some sort of sell here for a decent amount of movement. The 4 that we were looking at, Miguel, the only reason we're looking at USD JPY is to get a feel for what the dollar's doing. I'm not actually looking at that chart, just to see what the dollar's doing. But Euro JPY, here, I'll actually type it. Euro JPY, GBP USD, GBP CAD, and possibly GBP JPY. So those are the only things that we're really looking at right now. And again, the volume is there. You know what I mean? So we are going to take a look mostly at the hour here and watch what happens. GBP CAD as a sell looks really solid. Again, you kind of have your channel already built. So if you wanted to draw some trend lines, you could. You know, there's your channel right there. You could do the same for up here. It's essentially going in this formation, essentially. I'd like to move that in a tad. But it looks like we're probably going to see at least, since it rejected that top, we could see 72 pips. I love the downtrend here. But, again, we need a little bit more of a confirmation, being that we are within these fair value gaps. The 15-minute on this chart does look pretty solid. Again, looks like it's coming up to retest this area. We did create a green fair value gap on this way up here. Not my favorite, but again, we're just at market open here right now. We are very early into this session, 7 minutes into the Asian session. Let's go over to Forex Factory real quick together, guys. We're going to just take a look at this. No red folder news tonight. Forex Factory is what we use to see what kind of news we have on a day-to-day basis. If it is orange or red folder, it's probably going to have an effect on the market. So like if you go to tomorrow morning, we would need to keep in mind if we went into a trade with the Canadian dollar, GBP CAD, that 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you've got through four folders that are very impactful, one meaningful impactful, and then the Empire State Manufacturing Index for United States. So we do have two different types of news tomorrow, including AUD news tomorrow night. Very heavy on news tomorrow. Same with the following day. You've got pending home sales. And then Wednesday is just an absolute bloodbath of red folders. FOMC, bank rates, PPI. I mean, you've got it all. In the US and Canada, you've got everything going on right here. So my advice would be to stay out of the New York session Wednesday morning, but that's neither here nor there because we don't typically trade the New York session. A lot of red folder news coming in this week. But what we're going to focus on here is the hour time frames and what we see happening on a lot of these charts. Again, I do think that we're going to come up and test this zone. Like I mentioned before, we do get these type of movements rather than seeing just this and this. And I know I've beaten that to death. I've said that a million times, but you got to get that in your head that the market doesn't just move up and down. Yeah, two distinct prop. Yeah, no full porting here. No full porting here. But let's take a look here, see what we got going on. There's certainly a ton of volume coming in. Some of the Euro AUD, GBP AUD pairs have a lot of volume coming in as well. Euro AUD, that might not even be valid anymore. So I drew these zones up a long time ago. We're going to kind of go back in time here and see what... Yeah, that's a valid zone. That is a valid zone. So you'd have to go back pretty far, but it is a valid zone. Right there. Yes, it is a very valid zone. So when we're looking at this Euro AUD chart on the 4 hour, it looks like an uptrend. On the 1 hour, it looks like an uptrend. But again, we are on an overall downtrend. So you had your break of structure right here. After using this support for 1, 2, 3 times at roughly 164,250. We had this support for quite some time. And then we broke it. This was your break of structure right here. Your BOS. Very important to be able to identify that. That will help you in knowing when to look for a retest. The retest would be at the break of structure for it to continue down, or if it breaks this and retests here, we could look at this to go to the upside. So there's two different ways to look at it. What we're waiting for is more information. More information, the better the calculated risk can be. But very important to note that. That is something that we definitely want to look at and continue to follow with. I will put Euro AUD on there as a yellow flag. The way I like to do things is if it's a yellow flag, I'm interested in the chart but need more information. If it's a red flag, I think it's a sell. And if it's a green flag, I think it's a buy. I'm not looking at many buys right now. Just because of price action and market structure, there's not many buy opportunities in my opinion, other than this having to retest and come up this way. Same with the last one that we went over. Would need to really break this, retest, and keep going. But all of them, you're going to see very similar things in terms of the the analytic side of it. I do like a lot of these charts, though, to retest and break back to the downside. So if we were to draw up just what we're looking for here on this chart, this is Euro JPY. Just going to draw up what kind of take profits we'd be looking at here if we were to get in this. That's certainly one. Two would be roughly right about there. Maybe a little bit further down. No, right there. That's correct. 3 would be probably right there, and 4 would be at the bottom. Now, the way we mark up our take profits is very important. We're looking at past spots of consolidation or periods that were key levels to us in the past. As you can see, we had rejection once, twice, 3, maybe even 4 times at this zone. So this is going to be our TP1. TP2, you had, going back over here, you can see this was also, you could move this down. You could put it here or here. We could put it right in the middle. But this was where you had pullback. On an uptrend, it pulled back to here, it pulled back to here, pulled back to here, and then went. So these are our interest points for our take profits on the sell. Our final one's obviously at the bottom, which is closer to the bottom of the zone, where we talked about it being the most, that we'd see it drop until we saw probably some sort of major reversal where buyers started to take back control of the market and the chart and buy it back up after it came down. So that's what we're looking at on this chart. Looking at USD JPY, I'm still not convinced it's not going to keep going up, especially looking at the 4-hour chart. You certainly have it gapping down. It tried to break the high and keeps coming down. I do think USD JPY is going to cool off. I don't think it's going to go parabolic for 2 weeks straight. This trend is almost 30 days. This trend is almost a month long. So, with that being said, what goes up must come down, but we're not going to be the guinea pigs of it. No, we want to be sure. On all of the higher time frames, all of these charts look very solid. We'd want to see a break right here of this area. I'm actually just going to use this one. We'd want to see a break of that area before we took any sort of sell, unless we could come up and reject this fair value gap and this EMA ribbon with a huge wick. So if we were to get, a very large wick with a smaller body, that would be an indication that it is rejecting. And then if we got another bearish candle, we could certainly take sells here. Any questions on that so far? Yeah, don't be napping that day is right. GBP NZD still looking good from last week. Obviously, we took this buy here at the end of the week. This really helped us out. All these pairs have a ton of volume. So, volume's really coming in everywhere. That 4-hour on GBP AUD looks like a buy. No idea what that chart's doing. Euro USD just continuing to drop off the face of the earth. What we're doing is just drawing zones, guys. Just giving ourselves a picture of what's actually happening on the charts. Giving ourselves something to work through, something to look at while we analyze and figure out where we're going to get in. As you guys know, one of the rules that I have is that we need a reversal at a key point. and having these lines and these zones drawn out is going to be crucial to making sure that we are indeed at a key point and not just at some random line that we've drawn. These are historical points of rejection, support, break of structure. All these zones are vital to us understanding where the market can go and where it shouldn't go. Now we wait. We got a new 15-minute candle on a bunch of these charts here about 3 minutes ago. Let's see here. GBP USD coming down and rejecting. Now this did gap up to open on the 15-minute chart here. As you guys can see, this gapped up to open, but was a bearish candle. Conversely, USD JPY gapped down to open and then went bullish and rejected open. I think it's going to blow back up through this way. So gap downs and gap ups are typically good signs of movement, but we have to figure out if they're going to continue in the pattern that they're going, or are they going to continue in the gap down or the gap up. In this case, we're looking to see if this gap down is indicative of downward movement for the US dollar, or are we just gapping down lower to come back up and buy right back up for the week? Or was that GBP USD? So same thing with GBP USD. Now, is this going to gap up and continue to rise, or are we going to see it reject this key zone right here and continue toward the downside? I think minimally we'll see it come back and at least retest market close from last week. That's 27 pips from where we're at right now. This was market close last week right here. So definitely some points to look at. Very interesting charts to start the week, to be honest with you guys. Like I said, there's really a couple main ones that I'm interested in, and those are the ones that we're going to focus on because it just makes sense. But I don't like to be first in on new highs and new lows, as I mentioned. So what did everybody do this weekend? We got no football. We got March Madness coming up. Summer on the way. Hopefully some of you guys aren't getting snow. Tharuku Maran, what's up, man? How are you? Good to see you again. Nice to have you back. Tell you what, I did dabble in some crypto today. Kiwi just started spring break. Nice. Yeah, spring break is in full. I'm getting a heat wave this week. Where are you at, Nene? Kiwi, where are you at? Oh, Southern California? Nice. Phasar, you can get my indicator on my website, tradingwithmatt.ai. Oh, Kiwi's in Texas. There's a bunch of people in Texas here. Some that are going to be in Texas very soon. No, it's not a free indicator. This has all 4 of my rules that I've comprised into my strategy, along with the match strategy indicator session, price versus ribbon, what we're waiting for, the support, the 15-minute fair value gap. All this information is proprietary information that's put into a indicator created by me. So no, it's not free, but you can certainly get access to it on my website. Schubert's back. What's up, man? How are you? Thanks for joining. Good to see you again. Let's see what our friends overseas and the Great British Pound are doing. They're trying to move up. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Getting some rebounding on GJ here. I think it's to come up and retest the zone, to be honest with you, and then come back down, but we'll see. I think the theme of tonight is waiting to see if we're retesting or reversing, and in our case, we want to hope it's retesting because that means we are that much closer to making some money tonight. However, we take what the market gives us. We don't force trades. As you guys know. Got my in-laws coming in tonight. They rerouted their flight to Daytona Beach. So they'll be here in a couple hours. Nene, in Southern California, I used to visit Seal Beach all the time when I was living in Vegas. I don't know if you know where that is. It's like near Huntington, Laguna. Parents had some friends there that we used to visit all the time. Nice area. Just couldn't do the taxes, man. Taxes are insane there. Taxes are certainly wild. You gotta draw from your retirement just to pay for gas. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, but spring break is in full swing here in Daytona. Daytona Beach, Florida. A lot going on here, and we've got some good weather. That's the way to go, man. There's like 4 or 5 places in the country that don't have... $1.3 billion. Back to the feds. There's Nevada, Florida, Delaware, Texas, and I can't think of the last one where there's no state income tax. But that's why a lot of corporations are formed in those states. No state income tax. David's in Bradenton, Florida. There we go. I'm right on the edge of Ormond Beach and Daytona Beach, so I'm like right in between those two. Bradenton's awesome. One of my best friend's brother lives down there. Bradenton's great. Young Hoon from Tennessee. You're the only 10 I see. Had to. Put it up on a platter for me. I couldn't just not Whack it. Yeah, we're consolidating below this fair value gap here. FX Star Fleet from South Carolina. There we go. We're all over the map here. Mostly United States, though. I think we've got some Brits in here as well. Yeah, I don't think I could ever go back to a state that has state income tax, though. That stuff's brutal, man. I remember when I was working on Wall Street, I'd get a paycheck, and after it was all said and done, you walk home with half of it. Yeah, what is it, 4%? Yeah, there's a lot of people that live there because of that. And, you know, there's a I don't want to say a bad feeling, but like a lot of people say if you move to Puerto Rico, it's because you don't want to pay taxes because you're trying to act rich. Let me tell you, Jake Paul and Logan Paul are definitely rich. They're definitely rich. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being in Puerto Rico other than during hurricane season. Although Florida's not much better during hurricane season either. We got smacked a couple years ago with Milton. Absolutely smacked. Devastated, one would say. Correct. And I think you have to do the six months in one day. Just like snowbirds in Florida, they do the 6 months in one day to get the tax break, and then they go back to their people in New York, Maine, New England, wherever they're from. 6 months in one day, though. That's what you got to do. Is the dollar dropping? It has not moved in the past. This thing just hasn't been moving at all. Oh, there's our new hour candle. New 15-minute candle. Excuse me, guys. Seeing a lot of rejection. Seeing a ton of rejection on these. Still a little too early to tell, but yeah, that's wild. Yeah, those hurricanes are nuts, man. I've lived through a couple, and they are not fun. But that's the price you pay for having tropical weather, you know? For most of the year. For most of it, at least. It's just the price you pay. The only thing that's higher in expense here is your like house insurance, renter's insurance, flood insurance. That's typically higher, just if you're in a tropical area, but that's really the only downside to living here, in my opinion. Waiting for the rejection on these candles here. The rejection on these time frames. We may or may not get them. Again, I'm not married to one trade. I'm not opposed to taking a trade the other way. What I am opposed to is taking a trade against a massive trend. And all of these on a larger scale are on huge downtrends. Hours, days worth of downtrends. 4 days and 8 hours on this one. This is the only one that looks like it could possibly be going towards the upside, but again, this key level right here makes me hesitant. Yeah, they'll do that. Tampa's beautiful too, though. I like downtown Tampa a lot. I have a bunch of friends that live there too. I went on a guys trip there last year for golf. Tampa's really nice. Tampa is definitely really nice. A lot of volume, not too much movement so far, which means there's some indecisiveness in the market. But we have no problem staying patient. We have zero problem staying patient. Tell you what, I never thought Facebook was going to blow up so big, but my goodness. About to get a new 5-minute candle here. Let's see what this 5's doing. Well, it looks like we're getting the rejection we wanted. And we had a fair value gap printed with a bearish engulfing candle on the 5-minute. How many pips we got to this break point? 15 pips. If we were to set a stop loss for this trade too, by the way, guys, it would be 54 pips. AUD JPY. Does look good. Very similar to the charts we're looking at. Almost identical to this Euro JPY chart. Almost identical. Yeah, literally pretty much the same chart. Look at that. They all look very similar right now, to be honest with you. Yeah, you're talking about this low right here. I agree with you there. That's why we're waiting to see if we break this. That's essentially where it is. Yeah, AUD JPY looks good. GBP USD looks like it's going to be good. GBP CAD I'm still not sure on. GJ I'm still not sure on. And Euro AUD I'm still not sure on. But yeah, AUD JPY does look like a good trade. And it's got more movement available from a lesser time frame. So like it was there 9 days ago. As opposed to where Euro JPY, the last time it was down below, well, it was right here many times. In February, in March, but yeah, the February is where our TP1's at. And again, I don't mind going out to February, but when you start going back to like July of 2024, like we were talking about with Euro USD, that's when I'm like, all right, I don't necessarily want to risk that. But AUD JPY is certainly a good option. I believe we're going to end up waiting on the why so about Euro JPY, about not minding about the month. Because the strong support's down here. Like the main support is down here. This is certainly a support, no doubt. What's up, Patrick? How are you? Like, this is certainly a support. Yeah, I'm not going back to 2024, but I don't mind going back. Like, we're not going to take a trade based off of a high from 2024 that we could possibly get to. But breaking a low from... Well, this was March, again. This was March. This was February. This was February, but we were still there. February 17th, that's less than a month ago, actually, that it was at... February 18th that it was at TP2. Yeah, I'm not going back years or 12 plus months. 1 month is not a big deal, but our main zone is down here. That's not what I meant to press, but our main zone is down here. Yes, sir. You are watching live, Patrick. Appreciate you joining, man. Does that make sense, Miguel? I have a lot of people asking me how many trades I take a day. Like an overwhelming amount of comments since I started posting on Facebook of how many trades I take a day. Because people want volume. They want to be able to be in trades all day. I just want to point out that's just not the strategy. So if that's something you're looking for, if you can find A+ setups all day, then of course we would take them all day. But you're not going to find A+ setups all day. That's something I'm getting a lot of questions on. And another one was how much do you need to start? And I know I went over this, but 300 to 500, I think. If you can get 1,000, great. But as you guys know, never trade money you don't have to lose. Exactly. Yeah, one setup for 20 to 40 pips. I'm good with 10 to 15. 20 pips is like ideal. 40 pips is fantastic, but we typically don't go more than that. I think we had one trade in the last couple weeks that went for 72 pips, and I think we just left a runner. We had already closed out 75% at TP2 for 40-ish pips, and then we left one runner with the stop loss of break even, so it was a risk-free trade, and we were able to capitalize on that one runner. Yeah, sometimes the best trade is no trade. Like, we're not even ruling that out for tonight. we could end up taking no trade tonight. It has to meet our criteria. End of story. It's got to meet all 4 rules, as you guys know. Pretty much everyone in this chat has been here long enough to know that we have 4 very strict rules. Schubert knows the rules. Saram, what's the rules? Sure, we can go through those. So the reason you're getting signals printed right here, sells or buys, no, we don't trade gold there, tribe. The reason that we get these sells is because this is coded to my 4 rules. We're going to go over the rules here. So, rule number 1, you need to have an established trend. This is indeed a downtrend. Rule number 2, reversal at a key zone. We had that up here, or some sort of break of structure. We had that. Rule number 3, candle closure below the EMA ribbon and a fair value gap created is rule number 4. So, candle closure below the EMA, rule number 3, and 4 was the fair value gap created. If we want to look at these, yeah, it's 44 minutes into market open there. Flavor is you. So yeah, a lot of these are still moving a little slower right now. It is Sunday night Asian session open. We're not getting an immense amount of movement yet, but we've got over 20K in volume in some of these, 16K in this one. You go to Euro JPY, you've got 26K almost in volume. I don't necessarily mind the speed of movement. We don't always need to get in and out in 5 minutes, or 15 minutes, or 20 minutes. Yep, that's what we're looking at too. These are all marked in red as sells. So, good call there. You are correct. Bitcoin, we talked about this one last week. We had this flag last week. Remember when we talked about this, guys? We had this flag right here. It broke above, and then I said 72,000 in my video, but it actually went to 73.2. So, we did talk about that. Don't necessarily love the position it's in right now. I think we're going to probably see this area again, the 70,000 area, before we see another big push up. But that's just my analysis on it here. They kind of all move in the same way, guys. Market structure is market structure. The only difference with Bitcoin and gold is that you can have one major event or one red folder news just absolutely destroy any sort of market structure you had whatsoever. So we just got a new 15-minute candle on a lot of these. All of them, actually. Yeah, I mean, either the USD or Euro JPY or AUD JPY. I like both of those a lot. GBP USD, again, also like that pair. Yeah, nothing's really changed since last week. No major moves being made. Obviously, we have some news coming this week, but there's nothing major in terms of geopolitical events that has come out that would make any sort of catastrophic or catapult one chart one way or another. But we're actually looking at Euro JPY and AUD JPY there. Tribe 7263. Those are the two that I'm currently looking at in the most favorable in terms of the chart. What are the rules again? Sure, I got you, man. So, we have a confirmed downtrend, right? That's rule number 1. Check that off. Rule number 2. We have a reversal at a key zone. Rejection of a key zone or break of structure at a key zone. That was right here. You got sell signals all down this for 2 more reasons. So we have our first 2. The third reason is you had a full candle closure below or above the EMA ribbon. In this case, it was below. We had that. And the fourth is we had a fair value gap formed, indicating that not only is it in a downtrend, but the 3 patterns, 3 candlesticks that create a fair value gap are also showing that we're in a downtrend. All 4 rules were met. Therefore, this was a sell. It did the same thing back here, and it did the same thing right here. So you will only get buy and sell indicators, buy and sell messages on this indicator, which is my indicator right here, if all 4 of those rules are met. You could also look at the technicals. I do like to look at that a lot of the time and make sure that they are on par with what we're looking at. 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 1 day. We're not really going to look at the week because we're not going to be in it that long. But the time frames that we trade within, which is the day, the 4 hour, the 2 hour, 1 hour, all the way down to the 15-minute, are all looking like sells. And I think we're finally getting our rejection that we were looking for. The new hour candle should give us a little more information there in 10 minutes, which I think we're going to end up getting. Same with AUD JPY. I don't like how bullish the hour candle is. Again, I think we're going to have to wait till probably here or here until we get the rejection again. But both solid looking charts. Here is my number one trade setup for tonight's Asian session market open. March 15th, session. 2020. Sorry, guys. My bad. Benny, what's going on, man? How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. What's up, Benny? Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. We're not in anything yet either. We are not in anything yet. Yeah, it works on everything. I don't trade gold due to the amount of leverage it takes up in your account. It takes up too much leverage. And again, going back to what I've been saying here for probably 5 months now, 4 months now, how are you going to confidently trade that? That's an exaggerated version of it. But how are you going to confidently trade this? This is your day chart. Not much price action on a parabolic chart. You can certainly make money on pullbacks, but it's not worth it for the amount of risk you have to put up on gold. And that's what none of these guys will tell you that trade gold all the time, is it's not worth it for the amount you have to put up. You gotta realize some of the people that you're watching are trading gold with a ton of money. So when they're making a quick 4,000 or 5,000 on 5 or 6 pips, they have a $50,000 to $150,000 account, if not bigger, because you have to use so much of your account to trade gold. Why? Because the price of gold is at $5,000 and above. Where we're talking about the price of Euro JPY being 182. To be honest with you, I've noticed Sunday, Asian market session Sunday has a lot of volume. There's a lot of big players that come into the game because this is, right now, this is the Asian sessions Monday morning open for the New York Stock Exchange. It's just tonight because it's obviously tomorrow there. But I noticed the most amount of volume on Sunday nights, and I noticed the least amount of volume when there's red folder news in the morning. There's not as much trading in the Asian session when there's a lot of crazy red folder movement in the morning. Here is my number one trade setup for tonight. Here's the thing. Why does it keep doing that? Sorry, guys. What do we got? 7 minutes, 6 minutes and 30 seconds until we get a new hour candle here. Both these charts are moving toward the upside to possibly reject the EMA ribbon or continue and completely change the way in which they're moving. So we're going to certainly find out here what's going on. All of them are moving pretty much the opposite way. And again, this is why we wait. What else has the most volume here? Euro AUD's got a ton of volume. But like I said, that 4-hour chart looks like this is going to be a huge rejection. You out, Schubert? Got 148 possible downside movement there. 148 pips. On the hour chart, it's rejecting pretty good, but again, it's right at this fair value gap. This could continue up this way and come retest. Need to sack the producer. Yeah, the producer's me. I should sack myself. I didn't realize that when you read through comments on Facebook in Business Messenger, it opens up the actual reel every time you go to respond. It's my bad, my bad. That's your next zone that you're going to test, though. If you were coming to go to the upside here and reject off this fair value gap, look at possible 95 up. But we'd need to see a break of the highs at 163.505 before we got into that. Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, you had your break of structure there. So like, yeah, you had this, you had your break of structure right here, it moved down. Now it's retesting this same zone that we originally broke at. See if we can come back down that way. I see exactly what you're looking at, and that is very correct. Unless you're looking at it to come up this way, which also is correct. We just would need to see which one happens. The Niner, let's see here. Asian session is the first Sunday night, so do you use Friday high-low? We certainly take Friday close into account, yes. Yeah, I would agree. Same here. Higher time frame sell for sure. And this is the exact same chart as Euro AUD. I mean, they're identical. Two days at sea. Yeah, it's the exact same chart. GBP AUD and Euro AUD is the exact same chart. With, you know, this one dipped down a little more into the zone. You have more, that's not what I meant to do. Like you had your trends here on both of these. Essentially, kind of awkward looking trends, but you get what I mean. Wedges, if you would. Then it broke down. And then you had it again right here. Sort of wedge type thing. And they both broke toward the downside. Well, there it did. We're going to see if it does the same thing here. That's exactly what I would love to see. So I agree with you 100% there, Miguel. Oh, is that why, Sydney? That would be pretty funny if that was why. That's actually really clever, if that's the reason why. Yeah, I agree with you there, Miguel. I mean, you're looking... It could go for 200 pips. If it finishes the zone, it could go for 330 pips. Obviously, that's a bit of a pipe dream for the... It's not going to happen right away. That'd be a... No, that's not why. Bermuda. Been there before. Love that. Yeah, that's more than a swing. That's a shot at a home run. No, not the Bermuda Triangle. Bermuda. I don't think his cruise ship is sailing through the Bermuda Triangle. Although, what do I know? On the 15-minute on GBP AUD, we'd need to see that break. Oh, new 8 o'clock hour, guys. Let's go. Nice home run. All right, we got the new hour candle here. I'm not sold on Euro JPY and AUD JPY until I see them reject that EMA ribbon. Just not sold on them. On GBP AUD? Yeah, at least. You could go for just the pips in between the two. 15.5 to get to the ribbon of the 25, but... Yeah, UJ definitely is selling. I saw that. I don't trust it, man. Like we said, the dollar is going to come down at some point. Is it going to be now? Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be next week? Who knows? The only thing we do know is our rules and which ones we follow. I think these are all going to come up to retest this area. Same with here. 4 hour looks still sitting on this fair value gap. This could completely go. On GBP AUD, it could still go. You've got the last 8 hours prior are bullish. Moving into a possible candle closure above the EMA ribbon here if this wicks up and heads up this way. But again, I don't really like buying against a downtrend, even though that is on the 4 hour. You guys ever sleep wrong and have like a neck cramp? Oh man, sleeping wrong on my neck all week. I agree with you, Jan, though. UJ is selling. I just want to see some more out of it before we get into it. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, they're going to come up and test these. The 1 hour on the USD JPY there, Jan, is just right on the testing area. So as long as it doesn't reverse and come back up this way, we could see some sort of break and retest and head back down this way. It is a sell that we could look for, but we need to see candle closure below this and some sort of fair value gap formed, because we'd already have a reversal at the zone and a reversal of the trend. So we'd have the first two rules down. We just need to wait for the second two. Only 300 more watch hours. I know who we're missing. Where's Jose at? Where that boy at? Yeah, it's doing the exact opposite. Euro AUD. I think we might reject this. This Euro AUD might become a buy. We're gonna see. Wow, look at that suck up on the USD JPY 15 minute. Woo! Boy, is that thing reversing right at that fair value gap. You see what I'm talking about there, Jan? If that thing reverses at this fair value gap, I mean, it just tapped the EMA ribbon and immediately sucked back up. It's been riding this thing all month, just right up the channel. GBP AUD. On what time frame? Oh, the 15? Yeah. Yeah, AUD JPY is reversing and going the other way. No, actually, it's rejecting like we want it to. Just really depends. Like, we're caught in between two zones here. I'm going to draw them. Like there and there on this one. On AUD JPY, very similar. here and here. So we're putting a very tight zone on where we want it to reject. It really could be right there, but we want to see it break one of these. Essentially, this should really be up here because this is where we could last till until it breaks the trend. But ideally, we want to see it right there. This fair value gap was strong. Yeah, a vertical and a horizontal. Always, every day. Per day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he meant, was retesting, reversing, meaning coming back down from this very short uptrend it had. Yeah, I always have two, in case people can just watch on their phone. That way they don't have to turn it sideways. They can just watch like this. Or if they want to see everything, full monitor, baby. Gotta appeal to everyone, you know? Looks like you just got to the horizontal. Yeah, you were on the vertical the whole time. Why is it a string one? So, a fair value gap is a three pattern. It's a 3 candle pattern that shows up on the closing of the first candle, which was this one. Candle number 1 was right here. Candle number 2 was this green one right here. This guy right here. The difference between the two is right there. It's very thin, but it is strong. Oh, so strong. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been tested. It's been tested once, twice, 3 times. This could be the 4th time. The 4th test of this fair value gap is a pretty damn good test for me on the 1 hour. Now, some could say, why aren't you in the trade if you've already made up your mind on which way it's going? Well, I haven't. I need to see a reversal candle. You know what I mean? But it's certainly testing it. There's no doubt about that. We do. Indubitably. Indeed. For sure. By the way, shout out to my Stetson men's golf team. They're down at FSU playing. Wish them luck, boys. Hope you guys crush it. Getting some mighty fine rejection here. Yeah, that would be pretty much as far into the EMA ribbon as I'd want to see it go. But that Euro JPY trade, it might take itself out here. Again, it's tough to tell. Like, you know, a common question I get is, what are you looking at for the week? It's like, it's tough to tell until you get the opening couple 15-minute, opening couple hour candles. You don't really know what it's doing. Is it going to be retesting a zone to come back down, or is it going to be breaking structure and going up? You really just got to see. You can certainly do some homework. I mean, I always do. On, you know, that Sunday during the day or that Saturday night before market open, just take a peek at what the charts look like moving into the new week. But you got to remember, they haven't moved since 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. All we have is speculation until the market opens. We see where these pairs open up at. AUD JPY is blowing up. GBP AUD. Oh. Nice move on GBP AUD there. It's a good move there on GBP AUD. Would like to see this thing come down. Let's see what that 4-hour looks like. That's going to be a really nice 4-hour candle if we can get this to be a bearish engulfing candle on the 4-hour there. But that's a huge fair value gap that we don't want to mess with, and we're not even close to under the EMA ribbon. We may get there on the 1-hour. No. No. Just no. AUD NZD looks pretty good on the hour. See what the 4-hour looks like. It's just so high. Let's look at the day chart here. Oh boy, yeah, I don't want to mess with that at all. Oh my gosh, when was the last time it was this high? The last time AUD NZD was this high was in 2013. Yeah, not touching that chart. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. It looks good for a buy right now for a couple pips. I mean, we could get in a buy here on the 15-minute chart for possibly 20 pips, maybe 7 to 17 to 30 pips. But and it would meet all the rules on the 15-minute, but you know, now we're just kind of grasping for air. Not something I like to do. GJ is going to end up going the other way. Jose, there you are. What's up, man? How you doing? Give me one sec, guys. I gotta use the restroom. Doing all right. Doing all right. Good to see you in here, Jose. We missed you. I asked about you earlier. I was like, where is he at? He doesn't miss streams. We're reaching some points here on a lot of these charts. We're getting a lot of conflicting information here on these charts, guys. It looks like we could end up breaking toward the downside on some of these. Really be this one, I guess. Yeah, because, I mean, that's the one that hasn't broken, but that would be the EMA ribbon, so give it a little bit of room, but that's what we're looking at right there. AUD JPY and Euro JPY are both rejecting that key zone pretty hard right now. If they can flip bearish on the hour, that would be phenomenal. I don't know if I told you guys, I messed up my ankle really bad. It's like the size of a golf ball on both sides. Don't know what I did. I went and got x-rays. They said nothing's wrong with it. But I could barely walk. Does not feel good. Back to Europe, going to Portugal, huh? Do you at least get some time to, like, look around, or are you pretty much working the whole time? Because it seems like a pretty cool job if you actually get to see the world, you know? This is the rejection we were waiting for, guys. What does this 15-minute look like? Oh, yeah. We're going to mark up some levels here, boys. We're going to mark up some levels. Got quite a few. This can be anywhere between here and here. Put it right there. Yeah, they both retested it. Hey, the one setup that I did really like, also retesting. So, JPY pairs are weakening. Overall sentiment, the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Probably just really good customer service, I would imagine. But I do not know that answer. Oh, 5 months, huh? It's a little tough. What do you do, 5 months on, 7 months off? Or 5 months on, 6 months off? Yeah, it'd be 7 months off. can imagine. I have a hospitality degree from UNLV, so all that was customer service. Oh, 5 months on, 2 months off. Nice. I bet you the 2 months off is nice. When do you get those 2 months? You getting those soon? Or are you just fresh into a new swing? Man, I absolutely love what we're seeing on AUD JPY. AUD JPY is showing some really good signs here. I would imagine the cost of one of those ships is astronomical. Oh, nice. So you only got about a month and, what, 10, 11, 12 days, 13 days left? A month and a half. You got it. Montenegro. I'm on it. This is the hour candle on AUD JPY. There you go, Sydney. You got it. Yeah, AUD JPY is definitely my favorite right now. Euro JPY was, but we're not getting the same sort of rejection. Actually, we are, but Wick's bigger on AUD JPY. We'll see. GBP AUD, I don't think I'm going to end up touching that one. Just because it's kind of conflicting. The 4 hour's not doing it any justice either. The 1 hour is actually showing a buy if we went by our rules. So, USD JPY is finally coming in to retest that zone. Sorry, and I misspoke earlier. The Japanese yen is getting stronger. If Euro JPY, AUD JPY, USD JPY, GBP JPY, if all of those are dropping, then the yen is getting stronger, which means it's rebounding from the hit with the oil news last week. Oh, we gonna flip this thing bearish, aren't we? That's exactly what we wanted, guys. Oh, we even flipped bearish on the Euro JPY chart. We flipped bearish on both these charts, guys. What do we got on these 15-minute charts? Oh. Solid looking, solid looking. 5's probably already flipped back under. Coming close to. Rejecting. Again, not as concerned with the 5-minute going into these larger time frames. I think they're both going, though. many pips you got till break on this one? 42, 77. On AUD, you're looking at pretty much about the same. If we could blow through that fair value gap, that'd be super nice. Nice. Get it, Sydney. You got it. Yep, that's what we're waiting for. What does JIP mean? Is that like yep, but like with a J? Is that like saying yes? I've seen you say that quite a bit, and I actually don't know what it means. Forgive me for being an ignorant American. Let's see what this 4-hour baby looks like. Ooh. It means yep. Gotcha. I'm gonna incorporate that into my videos. Start saying JIP. I'm probably saying it completely wrong too, but it's okay. At least I'm trying. Don't need to apologize. I'm learning. I think that's just an Americanized version of yes. But South African slang is what he's alluding to. GBP USD coming up to retest. GBP CAD coming up to retest. Euro AUD, we're probably not even going to touch it. USD JPY. Ooh. GJ's dropping too. GJ rejected. And GJ with that consolidation right here below this fair value gap. Oh, man. Talk about a bear flag right here. We get that closure under here. A little break and retest. Oh, this thing's gone. She's gone for 177. All right, we just got a new 15-minute candle here a couple minutes ago, guys. Let's see what we're working with. Massive bearish engulfing on AUD JPY and bearish engulfing on Euro JPY. Both great signs, guys. Both really good signs that this was just the retracement that we thought it was up into the EMA ribbon here. So that's what we're looking at here. A lot of waiting, guys. This is one of the harder parts of trading. Both. I'd say both. I don't necessarily think it's boring because I like watching what it does. For me, it's harder. Because just like everybody, we're doing this for somewhat, financial freedom to make money. Did you buy it? Which size? The 49 or the 53? Or what was it, 42 and 53? Which size did you get? $57-inch curved monitor. Woo! That's the big boy. I saw they had a sale. I don't know if it was for the UK also, but they have a sale right now. If you buy a 47-inch... There's a 47 or a 43-inch curved monitor from Samsung. They give you a 27-inch OLED for free. What are you fudging about over there? It's alright, we got some time. Yeah, I'm not surprised, though. I got the Odyssey G9. I love this thing. It is so big. I will say it does get quite warm though. Like the monitor gives off some serious heat, and obviously it's because of how much power it's pulling. But like the back of the monitor itself gives off some serious heat. Nice. Heck yeah. That thing's awesome. The best monitor out there, in my opinion. Miguel, what's the one you're talking about? BenQ? Oh, what is this website? Never seen this before. There you go, Schubert. Two 27s and a 57. That's a nice setup there, man. I don't know what this one is right here. The one that's showing you guys my screen. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what this one is, but it's either a 24 or a 27. Then I have this one, and then I have two more over there that I think I'm going to reposition to above the curved one, facing down at me. Haven't decided yet. Yeah, pretty much does look like a security system. I mean, I wish you could send pictures in the chat. I would send you guys a picture of this one. It's huge, man. Well, AUD JPY is going the other way, going into the 4 hour. Euro JPY is actually doing exactly what we want. We should not have done anything, Adele, because it didn't meet our rules. No FOMO, bros, man. Come on, you know that. It certainly went into the zone. The 4 hours coming into the zone, but just can't look at it like that, you know? I like Euro JPY better than AUD JPY right now, going into the 4 hour candle here. A lot better, actually. But they should theoretically both move in the same pattern. They should theoretically be moving the same. Yeah, it did. I agree. But again, it just doesn't meet the criteria. I guess on the 15-minute it probably does by now. Oh, yep, it does on the 15-minute. You'd be looking at a possible 26 pips. 26 for the strongest support here that we've seen going back to like March 12th, because you got this and this. You could see it tap this again, broken, retested. You could see it tap here, which was your localized low there, and then you got another one down here. Could certainly see that. But again, you guys know I don't like taking the 15-minute candles going into a 4 hour. I really, truly don't. Alright, let's sit up here. What do we got going on? Let's go into these 4-hour candles and see what we're working with here. That's a scary looking candle. This consolidation is definitely going to be something we keep an eye on over the next couple days. Because whichever way this breaks, assuming it's to the downside, we're looking at some huge moves on GJ. Oh, it's gold going up. Slightly. That's for sure. Let's see what this last 15-minute candle is going to do for us. Is it going to help us out here? Or is it just going to put us into more of a predicament of what is happening? These charts just love toying with us right now. This is our mark on the 15 right here. This is our zone on the 15 right here. That was our support here and our resistance here. It's a lower time frame, smaller time frame. So same with AUD JPY. It's the same thing, but it's already there. That zone's already there. Could be. The 15-minute looks like it's either running out of gas or ready to explode. Because if you remember that that last trade we took last week, that GBP NZD chart, that one looked the same. It looked like this 15-minute chart, and then we just got a big old candle. It gapped down and then broke through the high. Retested and broke through the high. I personally am not going to touch it just because I'm not 100% sure on this one. That opening is very confusing on the 4-hour higher time frame. And a reversal at a key zone. It's at a really key zone. I mean, we're going back to... What is this? Yeah. So the last time it was here was February, which is fine. But then before that was... August of 25, going back to July of 25. This could be a market reaction to that. Oh, Euro USD. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Where's the lows on this? Oh yeah, this thing could be coming back down too. My bad. I clicked the wrong one. Certainly could be, yeah. The hour's touching that resistance there, and the 15-minute has already broken through it, but a lot of small candles. It'd be guesswork on the 15, but on the hour, if we can get some sort of reversal, yeah, it'd be solid. Some sort of wick and reversal off this fair value gap. I agree with you there. All right, what do we got? 11 minutes left on these. Sucking right back up. We'll see, or is it going to look like this? Yeah, it's bouncing. AUD and Euro are both bouncing. Just right on those lines. I'm certainly going to find out in 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Even the time frames are conflicting as well. The technical is on TradingView. They're just as conflicted as we are. Yeah, I don't know how much I like that chart. I think GJ is the most interesting chart for me. Not my favorite chart, but definitely the most interesting. Well, yeah, that and it's market open. Sometimes there's big moves. Sometimes everybody's waiting for the reaction of the New York Stock Exchange open. But other than last week, we do pretty well on Sunday night opens. I think we definitely have a lot of good charts marked out of where we're looking for. It's just which one's going to break it and give us the necessary confirmations we need to actually get in and pull the trigger. In 12.5 hours from now. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday morning. Which is like almost exactly 12.5 hours from now. Got 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Thoughts on UJ? Yeah, I'm not touching it. So if you look at the 4 hour, it's still above the EMA ribbon. It would need to give us a full candle closure below or reject this and show that it's going to keep moving stronger. On the hour chart, the wick is showing that it's actually continuing the uptrend unless we get it to fill the wick on this next hour candle. However, based on what it's done every time it's been this far into the EMA ribbon, it still is an uptrend, and I would hate to sell against a 30-day uptrend. As we talked about it earlier, this uptrend goes for a long time. This uptrend is, yeah. Actually, if you go from down there, it's even longer. But from this point right there was 20 days. From down here, a 28, 29 day uptrend. I would just hate to, I don't want to be the guy to bet against it first. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I hope you understand my reasoning behind it. It's just not my my favorite chart right now. Would need more indication that it is going to keep falling because it's still on this trend line. Still very much on this trend line right here. Let's take a look. AUD USD. Yeah, if we reject this, we'll be in good shape. 4 hours kind of nasty. 4 hours got a lot of room to go to see if we're going to reject this and come back down. But the 1 hour, on the other hand, if it rejects that and takes out this fair value gap, we could certainly see that as a sell. No guinea pigs here, no. We ain't gonna be the first to try it. We'll let someone else lose their money on it, and we'll get our indications. We'll get our confirmations, and we'll decide if we get in or not. Chagunas, Trinidad and Tobago. New visitor on your website from Trinidad and Tobago. Got some serious volume coming in here, guys. You got 52K on Euro AUD. You got 49K on Euro JPY and 40K on AUD JPY. I mean, these volume numbers are huge. If you look at them right here, these volume numbers are massive. Would really like to see these close red. On the 1 hour too, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but on the 1 hour, what do we have here? Thoughts? Just pointing it out. Certainly possible. Larger scale for sure. A lot of hours involved there. Yep, big one. Big one. We needed that. Almost didn't go. Yeah. Well, it's missing that wick up there. I don't like shaved tops at all. Yeah, the 5 should come down, though.
Booking.com has stays for absolutely anyone. For instance,
Booking.com, trying to get some free ads in here. What are they doing? Alright, 1 minute here, guys. Nice little rejection with bearish movement. Can we get a bearish close? Can we get a bearish close on AUD JPY? Well, Euro JPY got a bullish close. Not ideal. AUD JPY got a bearish close. I think we create a wick, retest this, and then sell the heck out of it. It might not even go further than that. Alright, so let's see what we got here on these charts. Euro JPY at least opened bearish on the 4 hour. AUD JPY rejecting, coming back down. GBP USD looks like it's going up. Created a fair value gap on the 4 hour. GBP CAD, not touching that. Euro AUD, not touching that. I'm just going to unflag these. USD JPY, to be honest with you guys, I'm not going anywhere near it right now. And GJ, whew, we got to see some serious movement to figure out what's going to happen here. Again, consolidation below the EMA ribbon's great, but I want to see a break. So, we really... GJ, we're still going to put as yellow, but even GBP USD, I'm just not a fan of it. We could see if it's going to buy up to the EMA ribbon because it's in this channel, but again, it's kind of guesswork, you know what I mean? Stop doing that. All right, who's got a trigger finger? Who's already in this trade? Be honest. I figured someone was. The waiting part's tough, man. The waiting part is tough. Probably gonna have to wait the first 15 minutes. Probably gonna have to wait another 10 to see what happens here. Give us an idea. Excuse me. As of right now, we have two B minus setups. Maybe B plus. Bunch of B plus, A minus setups. Give us something to work with here. If not, we may wait till London session to get in something. And that is certainly possible. We know Miguel's staying up for the London session. You staying up for it tonight, Miguel? Schubert's staying up for the London session. I might. I'm not working tomorrow either. I'm just working on the business tomorrow. I'm not going to the golf course tomorrow. Oh, I'm not going to stay on stream until 3 a.m., but I'm certainly going to have the charts up on the TV. You just scalped USD JPY? Nice. Would you scalp it up or scalp it down? You scalped it up once it reached that. I know exactly what you did. It's not about the napping. I'm going to have my in-laws in the guest room over here that is really close to my streaming room, and I would feel really bad streaming with them in the guest bedroom right there. Nice there, Schubert, though. I know exactly what you did. You went off the trend line, took a buy right here. I think these are just making wicks, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, I'd feel really bad. And they were just at the airport all day because, like, every flight got delayed out of Orlando, so they rerouted to Daytona. So now they're going to come here and stay with us for a day before they go to their conference in Orlando. I'll tell you what, I still love the sells on AUD JPY, and I think we could get in a great price right here. I just want to make sure it is continuing down. There it is. We're getting some reject. There we go. We're rejecting. Schubert talking about himself in the third person here. Here's the realistic part of this. Oh, you scalped it down. Nice. Here's the realistic part of this. Regardless of where we get in, if we get in here or we get in here, where it's at right now, our stop loss on this thing is going to be roughly in this area. All right, so let's talk this out real quick. Our stop loss is going to be roughly... Could actually put it down lower. Could actually put our stop loss at 30 pips. Go really tight on this stop loss. You could go really tight on this stop loss. Sorry guys, I don't like when my boxes aren't even. Kind of anal about it. There we go. That's our move right there. If this 15-minute rejects the way it looks like it's going to, this is our move to get in. Yeah, this 15-minute candle is going to be our signal here. So, in terms of stop loss, all right, we can move it up to the top of that fair value gap. In terms of stop loss, what you're looking at here is pretty much right there. I'm going to get rid of these yellow lines because they make the chart look like a railroad track. This is what we're looking at. And we can zoom out to the 4-hour here, but this is what we're looking at. Really, Matt? Good job. A 1 hour, here's what we're looking at. So you can have your stop loss in 2 spots. If you want it to be tight, you could have it there. If you want a bigger stop loss, realistically there is okay too. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at on this. But stop loss up there is 74 pips. If you don't want to hold 74 pips, you can do a much tighter stop loss right here. No problem. I want to see what this 15-minute has to offer us here. If this doesn't give us the close we want, we're not taking anything this session. I've looked at all the charts pretty much. AUD JPY was actually called out by Miguel, and it does have a little more room than Euro JPY. Like the trade on all time frames, and we got pretty much sells across the... Well, we've got a little bit conflicting, but... We'll find out here. We're going to see how this 15-minute closes. Yeah, if it ain't right, on to the next. I firmly believe in this trade, to be honest with you. Same with Euro JPY. I believe in both of these trades. But, as you guys know, we've got to follow a pretty strict set of rules in order to maintain what we've been doing here. I do like the bounce off the 50. Got 1 minute and 50 seconds. Yeah, I think I like the AUD JPY trade better. There you go, flip bearish for us. This is going to be go zone for us. That rejection was very clear. Wait to see what this 15-minute does. Let's see what this 15-minute is gonna do. I think it's a good trade, but I don't think it's there yet, guys. Curious as to what you guys think, but I don't think it's at the point where it meets all of our rules, but it certainly is getting there. Candle closure below this. Nice. There you go. I'd like to see that candle closure below this on the 15. But again, when we're looking at how much we trade, is an entrance from here to here that different? 29 pips? To some people it is yes, to some people it is not. We're definitely rejecting this ribbon. We rejected the 50 twice. I like full closure below, and you guys know that. Yeah. We could get a nice double top right here. It's moving. It's moving. Don Julio Biggins. Mine's not. I think it's just the movements. David, no, I'm looking at getting in sells right here. We're just waiting for our final confirmation right here. We've got most of our confirmations. We're just waiting for the fourth one here. That's just your broker then. That's the pips, the spreads in comparison to what your broker's showing and what TradingView's showing. There's a disparity in that. That's all that is. What broker are you using? Oh, what just happened? Typically, paper trading doesn't have any disparity, but some do. It's yeah, so you click web trader and then save it as an app. So like, see how it says liquid bro, oh, sorry. See how it says Liquid Charts Pro right there in the bottom left there? You just click web trader and then save it to your phone and it makes it look like an app, but when you open it up, it actually does look like an app, like when you get in. I'll show you. Yeah, so it does look like an app, and you can make all your trades and everything and chart just like we do. It looks exactly like an app. So go to web trader and then save it to your home screen, and it'll show up as an app that says Liquid Charts Pro right there. I just want it to close below the EMA ribbon. That's it. I just want to close below the EMA ribbon and a fair value gap created. On the 1 hour, I've already got enough. I've got it all on the 1 hour. We could take it based off the 1 hour right now. We already rejected the key zone. We had the full candle closure below the EMA ribbon. We have a confirmed downtrend, and we have a fair value gap that we rejected as well. We could take it on the 1 hour. Can you read them on the side right here? Well, I'm going to send it out if we get in it, which I think we're going to. But 111233 is TP1, 110.890 is TP2, and 110.235 is TP3. Let's see what that last 5 minute did. Yeah, I mean, like I said, for me on the hour, this is already good enough to get in. I'd like that extra confirmation on the 15. With it breaking through, since we rejected this area so well. I'd like the confirmation of below right here, but here's the deal, guys. I will send it out to you. I'm going to hold off on getting in until I get that confirmation. Fair enough? We're about to get it, aren't we? We're about to get it coming into this 5 minute. Yeah, today's the 15th. Yeah, we talked about the 18th earlier today. There's a ton of news. All right, I'll let you guys know if I get in this. I'm watching it very closely, all right? We'll end this as we always do, though. Thank you guys for coming again, as always. Schubert, Adele, Jose, Miguel, Don Julio, Kivy, Jan, Jose, South Guy Vlogs, all you guys. I appreciate you guys joining. I know it's late for some of you. I know it's early for some of you, so it means a lot to me. I'm going to let you know based off what we see here, guys. Keep an eye out for the VIP Discord.